sharing the cards, the space, all of that, I started to receive a message about a focus for this. It was about that you may have missed. This isn't about repeated experiences with good or bad, who you know this person, or interacted with this person as if you knew some questions about do this person. When I interact with them, who am I interacting with? What's their history? Saying who you might be dealing with. So this is the message that came in as I was preparing for this, that there is someone necessarily meant to save them or, you know, be any sort of hero to them, just to actually know that. And questions, probably shouldn't be saying anything about them anyway, but asking because, and as I was moving stuff around, out of my equipment. Here we are. I was like, and there, I just got the expansion for MJ Collinane's Tarot. So there'll maybe some haven't experienced a lot of before. Okay. I guess maybe that's part of the. What do you think you know, but you're acting as experienced in deck? All right. Okay. Off with is trusting yourself is something that you find upsetting, something that reason. It's an important emotion. It alerts us to, yeah, this is a very angry red card. Nothing to do with a sense of self-worth, where you have its anger, trusting that anger, and it's meant to move into some sort of better space. It's meant to see this as like, trust it. And what I'm seeing oddly and struggling with myself is this peanut here is like the anger or this wrath. And it's like, it's not a temptation, really saying that your feeling is, you know, what, fully justified, fully exactly the right emotion, the correct emotion. But I'm seeing a sense of get curious about it and allow it to lure you someplace you on. And I'm really seeing like, you know, just like rage fest. Obviously, that's not what I'm talking about, but there's something about it. So getting curious about your anger and being curious about anger, and if a situation isn't working for you or something like that. So where there's like anger, it's like a path we have to traverse. It's like a mountain path, be steep and difficult with jagged rocks and all of that. And so we don't like set up house and stay there. Incredibly important that we make that journey, even though it can be difficult, sharp, it can be, as it comes weak, curious about it. And so we do justify those negative emotions. We want to say, you know, they're negative, which is bad. They're unpleasant, they're difficult to handle, they're difficult to deal with. We kind of need, I'm seeing like oven, but like bigger than us, like glass blowing mitts, you know, and they're difficult to deal with. They are important to deal with and to look at. So some safety, you know, try to be safe as you deal with your own. It's trying to show you something and you trust it. And then we have scavenge. And I like this actually. This popped out at the end, reiterating like, you don't know what you're going, and maybe this is some sort of anger from the past. Maybe there's something from the past, feeling it, and maybe for the rest of your life, but you still feel angry when you think about that and stay there and camp out for the rest of our lives. But there's some sort of, there could also be some sort of anger to it. And I see this like nugget of like truth, something that you're gonna find. Like I see like there's a peanut in here. you're scavenging it, and you're scavenging through this wasteland of anger and frustration, but there's something valuable. But I also want to say, like, it's not about rumination, because, you know, thinking about our past very often trip over into like obsessing about it, just rehabbing the story over and over, getting with it. So there's a sense of productivity here with and dealing with and looking into and inspecting some of these finer points of why you're angry. There's some things making you angry this week, and you need to sort of the junkyard and see what you can find, right? We're all like negative emotions get tossed, so we can't deal with like emotion. Where we tend to want when a there's value there. There's value there is what I'm seeing, even though it looks like a junky little seedy little place. So. All right, let's move on to tarot here. Okay, overall reading, we have Four of Swords, getting a new perspective, which is with this reading out is like a new perspective on or maybe it is a situation and having a new perspective on this. Necessarily, again, I just want to repeat, it's not some known abuser or known problem person. This is someone that you're not really understanding or knowing very well, or maybe you have a lot of experience. So this is taking a rest, recalibrating, with a renewed sense, sort of some sort of battle, sort of truths of old. So there's a rest vibe. I feel like these thought patterns, these can all be retired and sort of put up like battle, and then there was that battle. Like we're going to tax our swords here in Paul, and they're just going to be sort of displayed now, because this whole story about Four of Swords is about someone coming home from war, and like laying it, like they make the coffin before they go to war, and then they so that their parents don't have to do that, and then they come home and they're alive, and now what? And now what? So there's like a rest, recover, and now what? Because you've got a handy dandy truth right here, ready for when you wake up and get going. So there's more to this story. There's just like a rest time, a break, a recalibration, a new truth to be discovered after some rest, after a time period. So you may have already gone through a time period of rest, and now you're waking up again, and there might be still a little unfinished business too. Past, present, inner landscape, what's at issue, environment, to-do list, possible outcome. Okay, in the recent past, we have the Star card, hope, blessings, beauty, being in the flow of things, being in the flow of life. There's peace here. There might be being in the spotlight. You may have been under some scrutiny recently. Really being seen. The Star card talks to me too about like some for now, some for later. Investing in your future, feeling like you have enough to invest in your future, as well as enough to sustain you now. But blessings, loyalty, I want to say like the universe being loyal to you. Feeling that sense of you being loyal to a dream and a vision being loyal to you as well. Also with the Star card, I'm getting like waiting for something. With hope, a hopeful waiting period. And that, I think next to this, we're also talking about that, this hopeful waiting period. And then in the current situation, we have Six of Coins. So this is often unearned gifts, calculated though. And it's not, it's like, it's not that you earned the gift, but there is an order to the universe in which you are receiving it or giving it. I can see you, I'm asking myself, which one are you? And you're either the one currently receiving or you're the one currently giving. Choices are made, but you're not the one waiting anymore. Is what I'm seeing. This is not, you're not the one patiently waiting. It's like your turn. That's what it feels like. That's what it seems like to me. It's your turn either to receive or to do a calculated gift. 6 of coins, it's generosity. This ain't your paycheck that's coming in. This isn't a paycheck that you earned, that you already worked for. This is some sort of generosity, a gift. I think generosity is the main theme here. As part of who someone is and as part of like the place in the universe or the place in the social order, respective, like some sort of social order. And I found at someone's foundation, there is a generosity here. You've waited with the star card. I see that you've waited a while. And now there is like, you've either waited to, this is really interesting because I'm seeing now and later, now and later, now and later. And I'm seeing like now is the time where the generosity and the blessings get poured to you. But sometimes but you've waited a long time for that. But now, I mean, I just see like, you know, she's got the pitcher, one pitcher held up, one pitcher pouring out. One person waiting, one person receiving. But this person's already received a little bit, right? We have the balance. There's these balance scales here and it's all balancing out. But there's waiting, withholding, giving, generosity, withholding, generosity, withholding, generosity. So there's like turn taking. And I see the way I'm reading the cards right now, I see that it's your turn. This, you may not be experiencing this yet. You may experience this now, but it might be your turn for something. There might be something that you have to split with somebody else. Honestly, this could be split custody or split something where you have to split it with someone else and it's your turn at this point to either be the generous one or receive the receive. Your fears, this is hopes, fears, inner landscape. 7 of Swords seems to fall very decidedly in the fears category. Being lied to, sneaky behavior, clandestine behavior, that someone's doing something wrong and you don't know about it. So there could be like some paranoia, well-founded, right? We've got the Wrath card over here where we've got this like well-founded anger. But that's what you're worried about. You're worried about being lied to. You're worried about being tricked. You're worried about losing because someone was tricky and deceptive and didn't play by the rules. There's reasons to not play by the rules sometimes, right? There's reasons for that. But you're worried about that. Maybe you're considering not playing by the rules, but you're worried that someone's got a trick up their sleeve or there's something fishy going on here. That's what you're concerned about. It could be you, but I don't think so. You know, you could be thinking of doing something kind of sneaky. I don't know why you would do that when you've got the gift coming to you right now. You're favored. You're the favored one at this point in time. You've waited, you've watched others be favored, but there's a sense in which you are being favored right now or soon will be, or around this time period have been favored. But there's some suspicion here. And sometimes when people like have successes, it can trigger like suspicion about people around them. What do they want, right? Does everybody just want something from me now that I have this? Or there can be just suspicion. So I think you're in a kind of suspicious mode. I'm not sure that it's unearned, but as we were talking about at the beginning of the reading, like you may be suspicious of someone that you just need to actually get to know. So, and then, oh, wow. Okay. So then what's at issue here is the High Priestess in reverse. Oh, right. Well, this doesn't seem like it might be as paranoid as you think. Because High Priestess in reverse is like information being withheld from you. And that's what you're thinking about. Or maybe you're the one withholding information. Because with the Star card and the 6 of Coins, there's like a withholding and a giving, a withholding and a giving, a withholding and a giving. And you're worried about withholding, and then now we have a withholding card. maybe it's part of this process of rest and activity, but this high priestess is like something's being kept from you. You don't know the whole, whoa, you don't know the whole story, which is how we started the reading. You don't know the whole story. And the Seven of Swords is like, something's afoot, there's something secret, but you don't know the whole story. So whereas that could be triggering for you as far as like, I don't know what's going on. I know I don't know what's going on. Why don't I know what's going on? Or withholding information from you. But this high priestess here is like, yeah, that's actually real. Like, and so it may have triggered some paranoia. You don't know something. You're worried you don't know something, but you don't know what you don't know, is what I'm seeing with the high priestess. It could be good, it could be bad, it could be something else, right? We started the whole thing with like getting curious about why you're angry, or maybe even why you're paranoid, or why you're feeling a certain way that is difficult to deal with. Getting curious about that, because you don't know something, and it could be actually triggering a little paranoia when it may not be anything that you need to be worried about. But with this high priestess in reverse, you just know you don't know. It's about the mysteries of the universe, and knowing that there are mysteries, and knowing that there are mysteries around you. And this could also be keeping something to yourself a little bit, but the high priestess is about what can be revealed, what cannot be revealed, and the high priestess in reverse is more about what cannot be revealed, what can't be tamed, what can't be known, and what is known by somebody but is not known by you. So there is a sense that there are secrets around you. In your environment, we have the Chariot. This is really interesting. Perhaps things are moving forward without you knowing. Yeah, well, let's ask, what does this know? Somebody you love and care about, Two of Cups. You don't know about somebody's relationship. You don't know you're in a relationship with, could be keeping something from you. What else? You may not know how somebody feels about you. And instead of like assuming you're like worried about it, we have the Mother of Strength. So this is someone that you might be connected to. They have this truth here, the Seven of Swords, the Mother of Swords, so the person seeking you. They're very focused on staying connected to their truth, to their inner, I want to say like almost like a plumb, that information, that truth. They very much in aligned with that. This person does. And so having patience, having inner strength. So what you don't know, this high priestess is like this I want a soulmate, or this caution, or how much somebody cares about you, or a conversation with someone withheld information from you, is because that's like where truth is that supposed to be withheld from you? And here we have these roses in these cups, and here you have someone holding the rose in their mouth to share something with you, or is dying to share something with you, but for now. So in your Chariot, you have like maybe people move, you have maybe a trip going on, it's going on a trip. But so it can be coordination, energy, things coordinated perhaps in your environment. Yeah, there's coordination here. Where is this? Like, while you make, and it could be a vehicle. This could have to do with a vehicle. Or you might with in a jet. So they have your to-do list is Four of Cups. which I think is interesting to relate to the beginning here. The timing weird to you or off, or just like you're just not ready for the real deal yet. I mean, Four of Cups and Four of Swords here. Four of overall, like taking a break from sort of truth and trying to figure things out. And this is now like seriously considering an offer. So oftentimes this can look as like you don't know is what you know what this is. If this is the real deal, if this is more of the same, you could be breaking path. But this one, in this card in particular, this an offer that's more, that's better, that's superior, the one for something else. Don't mistake this person for something else. Don't mistake this person not telling you everything for something else. You said, right? They kind of look, his general idea of this reading is keeping in mind, despite being upset, suspicious, and angry, trying to keep an open mind so that you don't miss a genuine opportunity. It's the rest threat to it, which you can kind of see with these. So all of these Four of Swords, there's separation. Here's the grouping. Here's where we've been. Here's the power that we'll be using in the future. Here's something. But because this past is so difficult or a new idea. So I see this as a cup right here. I'm really getting a message here of like being open to, despite being in something that looks like cans right here that are open, that we can see the opening and that they're empty, but this one's got the treasure. We've got this one's the treasuration at least. And then where we're going, Two of Cups. Here, this is our news, this Two of Cups. You're not open to it or you're not open-minded. It's something that you revisited and with a lot of curiosity. So now we're connecting. So this could be a coworker, a friend, it could even be like a curiosity causes you to open up your mind. They haven't connected before and don't really know, you don't really understand. This is not like an abuser or a bully, something like that you have to consider and really connect with them. So in this Two of Cups, I see you really connecting with this person. Can we get a clarification who we're actually connecting with? Just a little clarification because it'll be different for everybody. But as a friend, here, Three of Cups. There's a lot of cups here. There's Two of Cups, Four of Cups. Sometimes people say things and then we just like see them in theory in our mind. And then we see a person, we're like, oh, I don't know why I was so upset about that, you know? So Ace of Swords of Truth here with this connection could just be a conversation that you have that kind of helps you reconnect and that maybe that soured a little bit. And like you had a break from them, you haven't seen them since pre-COVID or something like that. And then connect with them and curiosity, they may come in with their sword, with the truth, with what they align with here in this conversation. So this is actually really beautiful reading about sort of reconciliation, perhaps a rival, perhaps a sibling, one that, you know, where you get something they don't. This person might be being generous with you and you may be not wanting to receive it for now, but you're meant to reconsider. This is up on the wall. The past is sort of back there. Still something that oh, interesting. Along with all these swords here, especially the Seven of Swords, have fire energy. So I love managing using them well. I'm thinking of like Avatar, the Last Airbender, and so beautiful. And learning to manage anger is justified, complete anger. Learning to handle that And I see Sister Azula here and how to handle her anger and frustration and sort of self in a way. And so seeing how to deal with and work with your fiery energy, with your anger, with your frustrations, oftentimes very justified anger. This could be about like someone's anger and look into it with generous curiosity. Oh yeah, generous curiosity for yourself and possibly consider for the other person. So the other thing we're looking at here is stag spirit leadership. So you providing the movement forward, perhaps looking out for a stag as some sort of perhaps information or some sort of source of a synchronicity. The card number is 39. That might be important for someone. We have 17 and 39. So yeah, initiative, taking initiative, setting the tone for something. So I don't see any toxic positivity here. In fact, I see quite the opposite. Healthy negativity, perhaps, or healthy negative emotions, healthy exploration of negative emotions. And it leads to perhaps a reconciliation with a friend. Because we have you like being on a break from somebody, having previously sort of not wanted what's being offered, but this is different. Might be different. Yeah. So yes, I agree with this card. I love this card. The Wild Kuan Yin by Alana Fairchild. Sometimes we take things for granted and forget to stop and realize how incredible the ordinary things can be. Growth does often seem improbable, yet it happens every day in many ways. So too is something growing in your life that seems at the moment unlikely or impossible. Yet it will happen anyway. Have faith, trust your feelings, and relax. Change is in the air. This is definitely a card of change, either breaking some sort of cycle, getting out of a rut, the way this one comes through. And then I really like how this sort of reiterates and brings me back to this first card, this card of having faith and hope in something. And this card too changes in the air. Sometimes it's your turn, sometimes it's their turn, sometimes you give, sometimes you receive. So switching whatever role you usually play. If you're the giver, you might be switching to the receiver. If you're the receiver, you might be switching to the giver. So having faith, trusting your feelings, and relaxing, changes in the air, recalibration. All right, hopefully that was helpful for you. Thank you for joining me on my second only live reading. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful week. Ciao. Now, how do I stop it?